Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today? It is Friday today, and we are getting hammered yet again. Leather Bag Lady weather report. I just spoke to Pius, and we FaceTimed for the first time today. We've never FaceTimed while he's been at work. I don't think we've ever FaceTimed at all. It was crazy. Like, why have we never done this? It was so cool to see him driving his big rig. Obviously, I don't want him to be distracted while he's driving, but I said we need to invest in some of these phone holders or whatever so that he can, I mean, he has his tablet in his big rig, so obviously he's looking at a screen there. So if we just kind of angle the phone close to where his tablet is, then it was kind of cool to see my handsome man driving this monolith big rig that he drives. But anyway, he turned the phone around. He was in Toronto, and he said, "So I guess you're not going to work today." I said, "No, not at all. We're getting hammered." He's like, "What?" He turned the phone around, and there was no snow. So, I mean, you've seen this before, but I turned the phone around to him and said, "This is what we're getting." He couldn't believe it. And I mean, he's literally 40 minutes, 45 minutes away. And even my mom in Oakville, 25 minutes away, they were starting to get a little bit of snow, but nothing crazy. So we are definitely in a snow area, that is for sure. So I am not out with my clients today. I am home, and I have a beautiful bag for you today. So this bag reminds me of my mom. It just does. The shape, the strap length. It's a 70s. I've listed it as a 70s Basido. Basido. I've had a number of their bags over the years. Italian leather, but the leather quality is almost like saddle leather. It is just an absolute beautiful bag. Isn't it gorgeous? There is a slip pocket in the front. There is a zipper pocket in the back and inside. Now, there is a little issue with this bag, which maybe I'll talk about first. The base. I guess the vintageness of this bag, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. The materials that these vintage makers used were a lot more sturdy, I want to say, than what is being used now. And by that, I'm going to say that whatever plate has been put in this foot gusset is almost like a harder plastic. A lot of bags now, it's just cardboard or, a material that if it creases or if it gets misshapen, it just kind of folds over or whatever. But this is a piece of thicker, I'm almost going to say plastic, just the way it feels. So it was a little bit buckled, which kind of then buckled this little area here. So what I've done is I have two very heavy candles in the bottom that you're not going to be able to see it, but I've put them end to end in the bottom, and I've stuffed out so that this will keep its shape. And I'm hanging it. So it does mimic, obviously when you've got your stuff in it. I'm hoping that this will take back its shape. There were a couple of little nicks in the piping. I filled them with the Angelus paint, which has just kind of filled the holes a little bit and recolored them. So that's the issues with this bag. Basido, just amazing quality. It's just a fantastic bag. I really, really like it. It's a magnetic closure. It weighs a ton with these two candles in it. But oh, it just reminds me of a bag my mom used to wear bags that had these extended shoulder, these kind of longer shoulder straps. And it has a little bit of a hobo-esque silhouette. So that is today's bag. So this morning, Pius was out at 4:30 this morning. So again, I'm hungry and I'm thinking, okay, I need to make this morning stretch out a little bit. I kind of knew I wasn't going to be going to work. So I went on on Facebook. And I got a notification of 2023 fall 178 2023 fall bags. And I was like, 178? So what they've done is they had taken a grouping from Milan, London, New York, and there was one other place. I can't remember. And just kind of did a mashup of the runway shows. So lots of texture. Lots and lots of texture, whether it's woven leather. Louis Vuitton had a very weird looking kind of like beige with darker brown edges puffer bag, like this kind of quilted that is still very popular right now. Lots of flowers, lots of shapes. Not only just the bag shape, which we talked about a couple of times already, but things that are on the bag. There was a bag that had a head of a fox on it. There was a bag that just had like the really nasty polyester 1970s nighties that had like all the ruffles, and they were just nasty. Bags with all that all over it. Chains. Prada with their new bag shape. What a suede. Oh, suede. There were some absolutely amazing suede bags. I love suede. I very rarely sell suede. My girl Renee, who I haven't heard from for a while, even Pius said to me last night, have you heard from Renee? I'm like, okay, you got a good customer when your freaking man knows about her. So Renee, if you watch me, I hope you're doing okay. I haven't heard from you in forever. But Renee is a suede lover and has bought quite a few suede bags from me. I don't know what it is about suede. I am drawn to it all the time. My friend Lynn in St. Catharines bought the El Creedy. It was a mock croc black patent kind of saddle bag, and it had the most beautiful gray suede interior. Yeah, just some really cool bags. I'm trying to remember. Huge bags. Very big bags are back. There was all different shapes and sizes. There didn't seem to be any one trend. There was one bag and it was the exact striped silhouette as the outfit that the model was wearing. So it was almost like the bag was camouflage. Just weird shit. And then like huge bags that look like paper bags. And like I said before, this couture stuff is, very outlandish, and then it trickles down. But Michael Kors only had one bag in there, and I didn't see any Kate Spade actually. But it was very reminiscent of a denier. It's like a snake, but it's kind of burgundy, dark brown. I do have one at home in my bag room, which I am going to have to re-clean all of those bags. We protected them, or so we thought. Not so much. They've gotten very dusty. So, excuse me, I am going to be very busy once this dang house gets done. So I'm not sure if we're going to make it there tonight. It's, we'll see. Pies doesn't care. I mean, he's out there driving in this all day, and I mean, he's got his big truck. So, we'll see. We really need to have a sit down and come up with a bit of a plan, because nothing in here has been packed. I mean, there's not a lot of furniture left, but there is still a lot of stuff in cupboards and drawers, and we need to start packing. And my mom suggested this morning that maybe we get a pod to put in the driveway for a month, just until we can get the space to put this. I mean, anything that's coming into my house now, there's nowhere for it to go. So I don't know. We maybe we'll have a little chitty chat tonight about it, because I am an overthinker. I am an incredible overthinker, but I absolutely don't do well with leaving things to the last minute. So we need to, we're focusing on the house, which we need to do. After this weekend, hopefully we'll have a little bit of a better picture of how things are going, because the living room floor will be down. And then it's just a case of putting things back, because really we're not doing much more after that. The bathroom we're going to do another time, and the ceilings we're not doing until the fall. So really the living room floor is the last piece of the puzzle. So we'll see. We'll see. But tonight we may be hunkering down in another snowstorm. Last Friday was another, and it's so difficult not to have a couple of glasses of wine. I'm so stressed that I don't think that my my Lent efforts are even helping. I've been doing a little bit of research just from a menopause standpoint, and apparently cortisol is a stress hormone, which I know about. I've known about it for many years, and it is almost like a fat sponge. For whatever reason, I don't know the reasons behind it. When you are very stressed, your body will hold on to everything. So I'm working like a freaking dog to not, do anything that I shouldn't be doing. And I don't know that it's making much of a difference anyway. But I did, when we were FaceTiming today, Pius said to me, he goes, that YouTube makes you look way bigger than you are. Because we were FaceTiming, and he's like, you look fantastic. I'm like, well, I had a workout bra on too. I thought I was going to lose his mind. I'm like, I better put a t-shirt on. He's going to run into something. Being the great boob man that he is. And even my mom FaceTimed me. I'm like, oh. So she's like, what are you wearing? I said, well, I just took my t-shirt off from working out because it was so sweaty. And she's like, don't worry about it. Just like when Harry was born. I think I may have shared this already. I had a tattoo on my butt. And a tiny, tiny little tattoo. And they had given me an epidural, and it wasn't really working. So the nurse said to me, you're going to have to turn over. So on this wall is my mom, my ex-husband, and my dad. And I'm like, I've got one of those gowns on, of course. And I'm like, I can't. And she's like, what do you mean you can't? I said, I've got a tattoo and my mom and dad don't know. And she's like, are you serious? And my mom went, yeah, we know all about it. I'm like, what? How do you? Oh, we know. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So over I turned, ended up having a C-section anyway. So it was not a good situation. That is for sure. So today is just going to be a little bit of a work day. I've already glued some bags, that big Barney's bag that I was telling you about. So I've glued it. I remember to bring the clamps home. It's going to be a bit of a process though, because the clamps are too big. So I'm just going to have to do a little bit at a time, but I will do it because it's such a beautiful bag. My pebbles and my rose quartz hopefully will be here by tomorrow. I found my flatback Swarovski crystals, the ones that I bought all those years ago, because I wasn't sure what the size was, and they're a little bigger than I thought. So I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger and buy anything, because they wouldn't have been a good fit. So I did find some pebbles already when I was putting stuff away yesterday in the house. They're teeny, teeny, tiny, but again, they are just the number is really what is going to be the purchase. The stone and the it's just a token. So anyway, I probably should get going with that, photographing and that nonsense. Pius is calling me right now, but I'm not answering him, because if I do, I will lose you. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good weekend, everybody. And if you're out in that weather, please drive carefully. Bye now.